And they'll go on. But you see, what they'll do, you know, I was at this workshop with this lady. You know, I said, how are you? She said, not very good. I said, what is it? She said, oh, I'm sick, not really very good. I said, let me tell you. I said, you've got so much love inside you to give. I went, yeah. And I said, you want to meet? I said, what is it you want to meet? She said, I want to meet my soulmate. And I said, you've got so much kindness. Yeah. I said, you've got a lot of compassion. Yeah, yeah. Well, she looked at me like I'm a fortune teller. How do I know with such accuracy all these feelings? We've all got them. Hello. But she's looking at me. And I said, you know all these feelings that you've got and you want to meet your soulmate? She goes, yeah. I said, you're not going to let any of them out how you are now, are you? She went, no. Who's she going to meet? You know. She's going to go, right, on the internet, dating agency, isn't she? She's going to meet Nigel, and Nigel's going to be just like her. She'll meet him at the station. She'll go, hello, my name's Susan. He'll go, my name's Nigel. She said, I suffer with depression. He'll go, so do I. Do you want one of my tablets? Yeah, you can have one. What do you think their kids will be like when they grow up? Yeah, that's right. I'll be like that as well. Ah, don't you see? She needs to let the feelings out now to get the guy that she wants. What she's doing, page 108,063 in your script, says don't listen to people like Richard Wilkins. First of all, you've got to have the result, then you have the feeling. Even though they're doing the opposite in the hospice, that's the script we've been fed, that's what you've been given, that's what our ancestors have been given, and that's how we're controlled. That's what gets us to buy things to be happy. The whole marketing machine, you get it in magazines, you get it in TVs, and what I'm saying is, you are not your script. I've got a script. I would love to say I'll get rid of it, right? Here's the good news and the bad news, right? There's the bad news first. You can't get rid of a script. Here's the really good news. It's not who you are. And most people don't know that. Most people have never heard about BC. They don't know about Richard Wilkins. They don't know about script. So do you know where that is? Because what we get you to do is say, that's not who you are. If that is choosing 90% of your life, and it is most of the time you would choose better on nearly everything, but we don't, right? Because that gets us to play small. If that represents most people's identity, and Liz is going to speak to you about that, and suddenly we come along and say, look, there's everything that's wrong in your life, we put it in that, and there it is. It's not you. You wouldn't choose any of it. Do you know what you've just done? You've just changed someone's identity. That, as Liz will explain, do you know what? We're in our office, you ask Melanie, we've got this hooter, right? And every time someone books on a course, because I work from home, I got, you know, live in a lovely house, and like, we hear that, or someone's booked on. And just as I said something good, it went, See, again, what I think, you're going to think I'm nuts now, I think that's a sign, right? And you think, don't be so stupid, it's just a text come on your phone. What would you choose? Do you see what I mean? That's why I've got more energy than most people. We did a survey of energy, right, with our superheroes. So people that you know out there, not people, what would you say the average energy is? Out of 10, right? Now, 10's being amazing, and 0 is dead. Do you know what they said? About 1.5 to 2. Do you know what that means? Most people are nearly dead. You know Tesco's, do you know why they have such big trolleys? To hold people up, stop them dying. Like that. Fact, ask anyone that knows about breathing. I don't know much, yoga or whatever, and they will tell you that most people breathe just enough to stop them dying. That's why we go, nearly dead, dying. Breathe. Yeah, so anyway, so you'll be sitting there, you're like that. That's what it is, most people. I'm not. See, what you'll be seeing at the minute, it's about energy. Well, no wonder, because I've realised this has been controlling my life. This is what gets you. This is what says, well, look, if you do that, you're going to be different. You can't say I'm amazing. You can't say I'm there. And this is what's been passed on from generation. And the only time most people ever go beyond this is a disaster. My sister at 80, she never got behind it. Her cup was always half empty. She lost 6 inches in height before she died. How can she lose? She got osteoporosis so bad, she was bent over because she was an angry, bitter lady. I love my sister, I love you, but you were like that, weren't you? And she was. That's what she was like all her life. And what happened was, right, she just said to me, yeah, I bloody was, wasn't I? Right? So, people don't die is another one. 5 minutes, right, okay, 5 minutes. They don't die, they emigrate. Isn't that lovely? What would you choose? We were just talking about that, me and George yesterday, with someone. If I've lost a lot of people, or have I lost them, they've just like they've emigrated somewhere else. People say to me, life's not a dress rehearsal, is it? I say, I have no idea. No one does. But what would you choose? See what I mean? Someone said to me, do you believe in an afterlife? I said, some people, they're both assumptions. Some people assume that there's paradise. You meet all your loved ones and they're all healthy and well again. And some people assume there's a big black hole. You went, yeah. I said, guess which one I've gone for? Do you see what I mean? I'm choosing. I can choose. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get really cheesed off with things. But you know what I'll say? I'm sorry, I'm in my script. I don't. There's no big debate. What BC does, can you just put the thing up, Tom, just before I finish? Can you get that up? I've sprung it on you, buddy. I just want to put something out. Tom, I suppose, he's enjoying the talk as much. See, I enjoy the talk because I've never heard a lot of the stuff before. I like this. I was saying to George yesterday, I sometimes stop and make notes of my own talk because you don't know. Yeah, I know, like guys will say, well, I've heard a lot of the stuff. Yeah, but I don't know what order it's coming out in because I'm working with the energy in the room. Look, I'm just a guy. I'm not a clever guy, but I've discovered the best. If you want the best feeling in the world, don't mess around. I'll tell you what it is. You can do the money thing and all that. That's great. The best feeling in the world is when you help somebody else and they say thank you. It is. It comes from a different place. All the great sages, all the great speakers have said it. What we've got, in a nutshell, right, BC, bottom line, it's an operating system for your life that sorts everything out. That's what happens. Because what happens is, it's like we install up here, you imagine, after BC, what's happening is, you're noticing all the time what you're feeling. That's what you do. Notice what you're feeling, right? And if you're noticing what you're feeling, you notice what you're doing, and you notice what you're thinking. If you're noticing what you're thinking, what you're doing, you're feeling, do you know what? This is amazing. You can't be any of them. You've moved to a higher level than your behavior, and that's what happens. And what happens then is, you notice how you're feeling. And if you're feeling good, that's you choosing. If not, you're in your script. Do you know what that will do? It'll end the civil war. The one in there. You know what I mean. They will stop it. Because there's only two states. You're either in your script or you're out of script. And you know what? When you're in your script, for the first time in your life, this is what happens. We've got people where it is all right not to be all right for the first time. That's when we get our calls. No, we don't get calls from people saying, oh, I'm really happy and positive. We've all done that, right? We've all done that. How, right, how content can you be when things are not going right, when things are falling apart? That's what's different after BC. There's a calmness that comes over you, and that's what BC, if you ask me bottom line, it's an operating system which can allow you to choose. And I'll just finish, I've got to finish, Liz is coming up now. Remember, what most people have, I don't know if you've seen The Matrix. Matrix is a good movie where they think they're living in the real world and they're not. I know that the vast majority of people in this room, you would make all sorts of choices that would be better if it wasn't for one thing, the script. I know there's workshops out there where they'll say, write down on a piece of paper all the things you don't want, and you tie it to a helium balloon and you let it go, and you put it up in the air. Or there's another ritual where you put it in a fire and you burn it, and you sing all lovely songs and you chant. And then you turn around 2 days later and you go, bastard, it's there again. The script is always going to be there. It's not who you are. But you're going to see some incredible testimonials today. Real, what people say I love about today, it's real. That's my little bit. I'm coming on later. But for the time that I've got, guys, I gave you all that I could give you in that time. It's Liz coming up now, my partner. Thank you, guys.